everybody out there, glad you could join me for another video, and this time I'm reviewing The Black Phone. So this film is directed by Scott Derrickson, and if you've seen Doctor Strange, you know his work. He's a really good director. He also did Sinister and The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I was not a huge fan of Sinister, but I'm not generally a big horror movie fan, so it's not really fair for me to judge those movies. So you would think that I didn't like this movie based on that. But I did. I liked it a lot. In fact, I can't wait to watch it again. But I don't even know if you can really consider this one a horror, more of a thriller, I would say. Either way, it's just a really good movie, and I'm going to put a link to the trailer in the description box below, and if the trailer looks interesting to you at all, definitely check it out, because I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Ethan Hawke is one of the highlights about the movie. The Black Phone is based off of a short story written by Joe Hill, who is Stephen King's son, which is pretty cool in itself, but the director and some others kind of reworked the story into a film and put some of their own childhood memories into the movie, which is kind of creepy to think about. You can actually find clips online of the director talking about this movie and where his inspiration came from, and then he tells a story about being a kid and his childhood friend coming over to his house, knocking on his door, and he's crying, and he tells him that his mother has just been murdered and raped and, tied up in a phone cord, which is pretty horrible. So a lot of this movie probably comes from a pretty dark place. The movie centers around a 13-year-old boy named Finney who's just been abducted by a child killer played by Ethan Hawke called the Grabber, who has locked him in a basement with nothing much really in there other than a black phone on the wall that supposedly doesn't work. But then our hero of the movie starts to get phone calls from kids that this guy has already killed on this black phone, and the only people that can hear this phone ring are the killer and the kid. Okay, so the movie has been out on home release for a little while now, but if you haven't seen it, you might want to stop watching the video, because I may give some spoilers unintentionally or intentionally, and I don't want to ruin the movie for you because it's a really good movie. But the ghosts that are calling this kid on the phone are trying to help him escape. And I thought that the way they did the supernatural element of this film was really good. The kid never sees the ghosts, but we do, but we hear them through the phone. So they'll be standing next to him, but their mouths won't be moving, but you'll hear them talking through the receiver on the phone. And I just thought that was a really different, neat way to show ghosts. And if you're paying attention, they all appear in a way that hints to the way they died. I would imagine that this movie was pretty hard to make because you're dealing with mostly child actors who, by the way, do an incredible job at acting in every scene they're in. But I think where the difficulty would have lied is what the rules were on how long they could be filming and things like that. And I'm not sure what the regulations are, but I'm pretty sure they can't work as long as, say, an adult could. One of the characters in the movie has dreams that help find Finney, and I thought the way they shot those scenes was really interesting. It was like Super 8 film style, kind of a throwback to Sinister. Here's where I didn't think the movie made any sense, and maybe it did because kids are stupid. But in the beginning of the movie, our hero and his sister are having a talk about this character, the Grabber, who's been abducting kids, and the kids are never found again. And they have their own mythos to what's going on with these abductions, and the sister almost seems like she's not worried about it at all, even though it's happening in their neighborhood. And the brother is so terrified of it that he doesn't even want her to mention the name the Grabber. So given that conversation, what happens next in the movie makes no sense at all. The sister leaves because she's going to spend the night at a friend's house, and the brother continues walking home from school when he stumbles across this creepy guy in a creepy black van. Red flag should be going off right now, but the guy has dropped his groceries on the sidewalk, and does the kid just keep going or maybe run away? No, he stops to help this guy and winds up getting abducted. Now, it's been a while since I can remember seeing Ethan Hawke in anything, so I was kind of happy to see him in another movie. And as I said at the beginning of my video, he does an incredible job as the Grabber in this movie, even though we don't really learn too much about his character, like why he's doing what he's doing. Obviously, with child abductors, there is usually some kind of trauma in their past, and we never find out what that is, what made him snap that he's abducting kids and killing them. And I saw an interview with Ethan Hawke about that very thing. He can make up all kinds of reasons why this character is doing what he's doing, but in the end it really doesn't matter. What matters is he's broken and he's hurting people, and he just does a really good job at playing a disturbed individual. He kind of reminded me of like a John Wayne Gacy, and maybe it reminded me of that because I think I saw somewhere that originally the grabber was supposed to be dressed up like a clown based off of that very person, but then they decided to go with the masks, which I think it really worked for this movie. Overall, guys, I would definitely give The Black Phone a 6 out of 10. If you haven't checked it out yet, you really should. It's a really good movie, especially if you like thrillers, and it's got more of an uplifting ending than Sinister did. And that's the end of my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all later. Bye.